The company is moving fast, and they're moving aggressively. I fully expect this company, when they say they're going to be on the NASDAQ within the next 18 months and probably a lot earlier, I believe it. What's up, everybody? My name is Adam, and welcome back to Broke Man Finance. I have been away for a couple weeks. I've had a lot going on. I haven't had much of a chance to sit down with you guys and talk stocks and money, so thank you very much for being patient. I've had so much going on with my real job outside of YouTube. Although I wish YouTube was my full-time job, it is not. So sometimes those responsibilities take me away. I've also been training and doing the tactical games. So that's taken up a lot of time. I'm involved with so many projects. But I'm here with you today, and I have got a penny stock that I'm excited about. It's gaining a lot of momentum, and I'm ready to bring it to you today. There's so many catalysts coming up with this company. I think if you stick around with me today and watch this video, you will be excited about it too. And by this time next year, you will probably see this company on the NASDAQ. So first, let's meet the company, learn just a little bit about them. We're not going to spend a lot of time on that part of this video because I want to get into the catalyst of the company because of what they have coming up. Because in those catalysts is where you are going to make money. The company I am talking about is ILUS International, ticker symbol ILUS. Currently, they are trading for approximately 11 cents, which at the time of this filming, that is up 8% on the day, which is up a lot since they announced the second quarter earnings. I think just a couple weeks ago, they were around the 5-cent range. But with everything they have going on, it's looking like they're not going to stay here. ILUS International is a public merger and acquisition investment company operating out of New York, London, and Dubai. They focus primarily on innovative emergency services, life safety, and related technologies such as emergency response vehicles, electric utility vehicles, specialist vehicle conversions, disruptive firefighting equipment, wearable technology, and related software solutions. The company has already completed 3 acquisitions in 2021, recently signed 2 letters of intent for the acquisition of 2 U.S. companies, and is in discussions with more. They just announced they signed 3 more contracts worth up to $1.5 million, so add another notch in the reasons to buy category. With more than 80 large wildfires recently taking place across 12 U.S. states, wildfires are clearly increasing with devastating consequences. Now, ILUS isn't in position for the 2021 wildfire season, but they certainly will be next year. Now, I'm talking major contracts coming out of states that have wildfire issues, and it only seems to be getting worse every year. But for instance, like California sets aside billions of dollars in their state budget just to combat wildfires. And there's a great chance that ILUS is going to be on the receiving end of some of those funds. And I'm just talking about U.S. states. I'm not even talking about the European deal that they have going on, and they already have contracts in place in Europe right now. As far as what ILUS could offer these states is, well, a little bit of everything. They're essentially going to make themselves a one-stop shop. It's going to be hard to look at what they have to offer and tell them no if you're a government agency, if you're a state agency, city, whatever. I'm talking from training, monitoring, combating the wildfires, response, cleanup efforts, everything because of the subsidiaries that they have in place already. And they're acquiring even more. Here are the subsidiaries that I'm speaking of. You have eRaptor, FB Technologies, Firebug, TVC, the Vehicle Converters, BCD Fire, and more coming down the pipe. And if you want to know any more about these, then by all means go to ilus-group.com and you can learn about all the subsidiaries that they have in place. ILUS has been naming new leadership and management here recently because they are just growing so damn fast. For instance, ILUS has appointed a senior product manager for fixed fire systems who will be responsible for completing the certification of the much-awaited water mist kitchen fire suppression system and the ongoing development of the company's fixed fire systems. In addition to its kitchen fire suppression systems, which are currently undergoing testing prior to certification, ILUS is also developing water mist fire suppression systems for battery compartments, transformers, engine compartments, buses, and trains. Now think about the level of market that's going to open up to ILUS once they become certified with this water mist system. We're talking about every kitchen could be a potential customer, every bus, transformer, anything battery operated, buses, trains, whatever, name it, they could be a potential customer. And they've already done some crazy numbers this past quarter, and I'm going to get into that in just a moment, but you got to remember those numbers were done without this even being in play yet, without even none of this being commercialized. So once ILUS is able to take this to market, the revenue the potential revenue that could be generated is ridiculous. ILUS is also in the process of completing the reorganization of its share structure and is following a phased approach with the goal of achieving an outstanding share structure of well below 1 billion in the first phase. Now, what well below means, I don't know, but I know it ain't like HCMC kind of float, all right? We're talking about well under 1 billion, which should bring very good news for a lot of shareholders because supply and demand. Fewer the shares, the higher it is in value. And if they're trying to get uplisted onto the NASDAQ, they're going to have to get that value up. Speaking of NASDAQ, they are getting super aggressive on trying to make sure they get uplisted onto the NASDAQ within the next 18 months. And per the CEO, it will be well under 18 months. And by getting on the NASDAQ, that will be a huge catalyst and confidence booster for shareholders and potential shareholders. And you got to remember, right now they're around 11 cents per share. To get uplisted onto the NASDAQ, you need to be at around a minimum of $4. There are some $2 and $3 stipulations, but for the most part, any of those are going to be crazy gains compared to where they are at right now. They already have numerous European contracts in place and they're focusing hard on the United States right now, but they're working on a European deal which, per Nick Link, the CEO, he says will be astronomical in size. And it should be getting finalized soon. ILUS expects to complete an acquisition which it has been working on now for nearly 7 months. This acquisition will simultaneously benefit from a joint venture with a specialist vehicle manufacturer and the privatization of a large ex-government manufacturing plant. This European acquisition has many moving parts and is substantial in size and strategic importance. The deal will allow ILUS access to some of the world's largest free trade agreements, including the whole of Russia, China, European Union, and Eastern Europe, servicing a combined population of over 2 billion people, some of the world's largest economies and key markets, which are in dire need of a technology refresh. The level of revenue that could come out of that deal could be an enormous amount of money. The fact that they have the share restructuring, more acquisitions, they got the potential contracts for the wildfires, they got the water mist system coming out, they have the potential uplisting. There's so much going on good with ILUS right now, it's hard to ignore them. All of those are good signs pointing to profitability in the future. Why have they jumped so much here recently? Well, they had a great second quarter. Obviously, I've already mentioned some of the catalysts that they've got going on, but they had a great second quarter and it gave a lot of investors hope. Some started doubling down and it made a lot of investors start looking their direction. The company achieved revenue of $2.86 million in the second quarter of 2021. And remember, some of their avenues of future revenue has not even started yet. And this represents a 462% increase on the first quarter revenue of $509,000. In addition to the increased revenue, ILUS reports that its second quarter gross profit is up 375% to $992,000 compared to the first quarter gross profit of $209,000. In addition to its increased revenue and profit, ILUS reports that it has strengthened its balance sheet with assets increasing to just under $24.5 million and cash in the bank has also increased. And let me reiterate, they're making these increases without even having their money makers to market yet. They're still making acquisitions of companies. They're still testing to eventually get certified with their water mist systems. They're still signing contracts to eventually help states out with wildfires, and the European deal is still underway. They have a lot going on and they're still going up hundreds of percents in profit with none of that even being in play yet. This company is moving fast and they are moving aggressively. They are not taking the time to wait for things to happen. They are making things happen. And if I were you, if you like what I just said, if you research the company, which I hope you do, and you like what you see, then I would not sit on the sidelines for very long, because in less than 18 months, you could be looking at a company that's $4, $5, $6 per share. But let me know what you think about ILUS in the comment section below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. As always, I hope you stay safe. Take care. We will see you next time.